Yay, we got someone. Whoever that is, can you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and if you can see my screen? I've just shared it to Plum Chat and Off the Tools. So hopefully we'll get some people on very, very soon. I'm going to give, for those that are interested, I know a lot of people always talk about what systems that they use to run their business. CRM systems is what they're called. There's numerous out there. I've tried quite a few, and for me, having ServiceMate has really allowed me to build the business a lot more in depth. It covers so much, so I'm going to go through it. This is only a little brief intro. If you want to know, if you want to learn more about it, then I'll just reach out and I'm happy to help you. Hey, we've got a few people coming on now, which is great. Hello, everybody. So if someone could just, no one's confirmed if they can hear me yet. So please, someone just give it a thumbs up or something, just so I know that you can hear me. Fraser, I believe you're on. I can't see anybody else. But right, hey, we're getting a few more numbers on now. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to start any second. I'm just checking the sound. There we go. I know the sound's working. There we go. Got my thumbs up. So we'll get started. So ServiceMate. ServiceMate is a is a management system. Right? Thank you. Excellent. Everyone can hear me. So what it does is it's a place that you can store your customer details. You can create your invoices. You run your diary. It does so much more than that, but that's what a basic CRM system should do. You can do certificates. You can custom build certificates. So if you've got anything unique in your business that you do, you can get somebody to build that for you. It's all just a generic coding that there's a few people out there that can do it. You can even do it yourself. It takes a little bit of time, but so we're going to kick off with, so first of all, you come to your dashboard. I won't lie, I don't really use this part. As you can see over on the right, my tasks, you can use them, but I generally don't use that. But it does have an activity feed, which when you're on your phone is quite handy. It fits the iPhone screen very nice, and it just gives you daily reports and stuff of what's gone on and etc. on days, if you can see. So you can see when payments have been transferred, what jobs are completed and things like that. So that's just the basic dashboard. Like I say, I don't generally use it much, but the big thing that I use very regularly is the dispatch board. So if I click on the dispatch board, you guys should be able to see a diary system that comes up. You can set it to have it by day, week, 2 weeks, or even a month. Starts to look very busy. Again, on the phone, which is when most of the users are going to use it, it's a lot more cleaner. You only see your information. So I've got different jobs and different colors for different people. But on here, you can filter out all different jobs. So I can go to all jobs. So any jobs that have been raised on the system, all completed jobs, and as you can see, they turn a nice green color. I can go to jobs that are in progress, so jobs that are being done now as we speak. Unscheduled jobs, so a list of jobs that are either awaiting parts or anything along them lines. And with this, one of the good things is, if you can see my mouse, you can see you've got these little folders here. So I can literally drag and drop into them folders, and if I click them folders, it gives me a list of what's in there. You can edit these completely, so you can make them as bespoke to your business as you want. For now, these ones do me. I literally, as the jobs come back from the engineers, I drag them into the folders, so then me and my wife can quickly go on, and if we need something needs booking in, click on it, easy. I can then literally, if I wanted to book this in, I could drag and drop it to here, and if I select here, I can choose from the list of people that can go out to that job. I'm not going to do it because it's a live job, so I don't want to do that. If I go into job history, you've just got a long list of, you can display as many as you want, I believe, up to 100, and you can go through, and obviously then just go through to the next page. If I click into one of the jobs, let's, what job should we click in? Let's go into does it really? It don't really matter, does it? Let's go into urban and rural here. Okay, so this is the job sort of form that you get. And what happens here, you can write in your descriptions, you can add all your contact details, you can type job notes. So if I just put test in here and save note, that will come up into sort of like the feed here. And also the engineer can see that as well if this job is applied to somebody, and I could just remove that quite simply. On the right, you've got badges. So if I tick a certain badge, it will do a certain task, which I'll jump back to in a minute, if that's okay, because it will make more sense when I show you into the automation system, which is one of the big things why I liked this system so much, because I could automate a lot of day-to-day things that I was doing or my wife was doing, whereas a few clicks of a button and I'm away. You go into your quotes and invoicing section. Here you can write in a description, you can add items to the invoice, you can edit it, and then at the bottom you can produce a quote, produce a works order if you want to print out a works order for your engineer, or you produce an invoice. When you click that button, if I click the produce an invoice, it will raise up a PDF. So you can either save that PDF, you can print it, waiting for it to load, or you can email it. If you click email, it sends through the system, and I can just literally attach anything. So, oh, where's it gone? Here, sorry. You can attach any of the quotes or invoices that you want to send, and you just press send. And what's great about this is what I really like is it houses all my communications in one place. So if I go back here on this feed on the right hand side, if I scroll through, I can see, so the job was created, then it was scheduled, then there was an attachment attached, which was actually a job report from a previous plumber that the landlord sent over to me, but I wanted to, if I show you this, so someone else had been there and advised of what was needed, but they didn't do it themselves. So I added that so the engineer could see that. I changed it to a quote because they wanted a quote. I produced the quote. I gave them two options, so I sent them. If you see there, you've got 1 and 2. You can go in here and you can edit the quote to edit the name, so you can clearly distinguish what quotes for what. So if you're doing, when I do a boiler, I might do a Worcester 30i, and I might give them another quote of a Worcester for 40 CDI, for argument's sake. And the way it displays is very, very good. Let me see if I can find that for you. I'm just going to quickly come through here. Just seeing if we've got people on yet. We've still got people on. Thank God I'm not talking to myself. So view invoice online. So if this was a quote, this would come up as a quote because it's an invoice. I'm going to, do you know what? Let me go over to here. Right. So we'll come back to that. So the biggest feature for me, if I go into settings here, is this automation. This here can save you so much time. So I have, if you look on the screen now, I'm just going to check that you guys can see that. I've got a list of automations that happen. So if I tick a certain badge when I'm creating a job, it will go into one of these that I've set up. So I've got quote follow-up. So what happens is with that, if that's on, as you can see, there's 3 scheduled, 54 that have been processed. It's just an email that goes out after 5 or 6 days. I can't remember what I've got it set to. And it will send an email out to the client just to say, oh, just checking that you haven't got any questions. If you're in a position to make a booking, please give us a call, or whatever you want it to do. But this all happens automatically. So I'm hands off when it comes to that. I've got the same set up for a payment follow-up. So if the invoice isn't marked as paid on the system, they will get a follow-up email to say, oh, have you forgotten about our invoice, blah, blah, blah. Then we got booking reminders, which are really, really good. You can have emails and text on all of these, by the way. But for the booking reminders, I send an email out 48 hours before the booking, and then I send a text out 24 hours. And again, it's just one click when you create the job, and it happens automatically. So again, I don't have to keep going in and doing things hands-on, which saves me so much time. It's unbelievable. I've got a badge follow-up marketing. So with this one, I've created a marketing email, but I haven't quite finished the web page that I want to bring them in, part of my funnel that I'm building, which is why it's turned off at the minute. Another great one is a job follow-up. So after a job's completed, the badge is already ticked when I've created the job, and it will send an email out a week later just to say, oh, hiya, checking in, making sure everything that with the work that we've done recently is okay. If there's any problems, please contact us. By the way, could you spare a couple of minutes to leave us a review? And that's why I've got over like 350 odd reviews, I believe. Then you've got another badge follow-up, which is for the annual service, which again is brilliant. So again, when I'm creating that job at the beginning, I tick a box, and automatically the service reminder email and text. So I've got an email that goes out 3 weeks before it's due, and then a text that goes out a week before, goes to the client and encourages them to book. And what's even better with this system is that the customer can book online directly onto your live diary. So that just makes the process, I'd say 50% of the jobs that get booked now are not even dealt with on the phone. They are booked in via the customer doing it themselves. I'm going to see if I can show you what we've got. So self-serve booking, I believe it is. So yeah, so I've got one set up for a landlord that I do regular work for. Then the others are generic, so the customer can click on one of these links, but I've created a forwarding URL. So all they have to do is go to www.boiler.expert, and that brings them to a page. I'll see if I can bring it up. Boiler.expert. It should load up a page. So this is client facing now. I'm just going to check that you can see this. Yep, you still can see it, which is great. So this is client facing. Obviously you've got your logo, phone number, a few other bits and bobs. If I go into, let's pretend we're going to book a plumbing and heating and repair. So you're a customer, you've either had one of my emails or you've found my website online and you click the book now button, you'd come through to this page and you click the job that you want. And then you simply, the customer would literally simply, right, 27 Front Street, and I don't know if you can see this, but it's coming up with a drop-down menu. So I'm going to go Slip End Luton. There we go. Are you an existing customer? And basically a little explanation onto what. So I'm going to tick. It doesn't matter what you tick, but when you're building this, which is all drop-down menus, it's very simple to build. You can select so different things happen with the results. So for now, I'm just going to tick yes. What's the current issue? Boiler fault. Okay, and then I've got a brief explanation of our fees, if you can see that. So basically just says we charge £80 for diagnostics, blah, 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 blah. They have to click yes, I agree. If they click no, it just comes into the system. It doesn't let them book a job. But if they click yes, then what will happen now is they will click over. So if I click yes, select a time. And now what will come up is a list of live available times that can be booked for that job. So behind the scenes, I've set them to be, for that job to be a 1 hour visit. So it doesn't, so it gives me time to travel and get there. So if I was to go, let's book it in for next week so I don't mess up the diary. So if I click there, I click next. Now it'll ask for the customer details. So test customer. Oh, I didn't need business name, sorry. I'll just put test customer and email address. So let's just put my email address and my phone number. And then literally they'll click book service. Boom. That's it. That job now is in my diary. But what I want to show you, now if I go back to ServiceMate, the website, you should see dashboard. Bear with me, guys. Sorry, just working out where it's going. So dispatch board. Can't remember what date we set it to be booked in. But if I go in here, I think it was sometime next week. Where did I book it? Can't remember where I booked it now. Anyway, it will be in the diary somewhere, whichever day I selected, and it's there, ready for the engineer, ready for me, and everyone's winning. And that's just, again, it's so gratifying when you wake up in the morning and you just get these notifications that Joe Bloggs has booked, someone else has booked, someone else has booked. It's just fantastic. It's such a great system. Here we go. So there we go. It was a bit slow coming through. If I click on that, online booking, test customer. So test customer's booked, and that should be now. If I scroll along, again, I can't find it, but whatever date it was that we set, I can't remember now, but hey ho. But it all works. I've triple checked. Did you buy a Service Guru or direct from Service? Parish, I bought direct from ServiceMate because I wanted to really dive into the system myself to learn it. I've heard of Service Guru, and I think it's about 500 quid for a full setup. So if time is of the essence and you've got a few quid that you can throw at it, it's certainly worthwhile spending the money and getting it all set up, because it does take a little bit of time. I gave myself a 3-month window to transfer from Commusoft, which I still loved. I've got no problem. It was very good. I just felt that this had more potential and future growth plans, because I can do a lot more behind the scenes on this. But yeah, so it really depends on your situation. If you've got a fairly large business and quite a few employees, I'd probably say pay the setup fee through Service Guru, which are a partner. I'm also a partner, but Service Guru price, I can't do it for that. It's too labor intensive for me. Whereas I'm guessing they've got a team of people that have it all ready to go. I hope that answers your question. If anyone else has got any other questions, please just shout over. I want to get into some more bits here. So if I go back into the settings, so we touched on automation. Badges here, so there's a list of different badges and you can create your own badge, and the badge is basically like the tick that you apply when you create a job, so you can create it for various different things, so gas safeties, quotations, anything like that, so you can clearly and easily manage automations as and when you want to build them. If I go back to settings, job categories, you can set different so if you've got like a certain contract that you do, you can create a category for them. So again, it's just easy to manage and report on as and when your business is getting bigger. You can add a full materials list. I don't generally use this. I generally just create as I go, which is probably not the best way. Over time, I'll probably build up a database of set prices and things, so my wife can do it a lot easier without having to badger me all the time of what's being charged. So that's definitely something on my target list for this year, is to make that all run a little bit smoother. We have also got, so in here you can add your staff members, nice and simple. There's no limit on the staff members. You can add as many as you want. You can assign different roles, so contractor, administration, operations, whatever it is you want to do, and that gives them certain access to certain parts of the system. Then there's a great big section here which is called ServiceMate add-ons. So these are all things that, a lot of these are free. There's a few that are specific on the plan that you take, so I'm not going to touch on exactly everything, but there's so much in here that it can do. It's phenomenal. So things like the automation and self-service, I believe, come as standard, and badges. You can link it to your Xero. So literally the minute I create an invoice, or one of my engineers create an invoice on site, it automatically goes into Xero. If I mark it as paid in Xero, because I prefer Xero for looking at the numbers, it's a little bit cleaner and a little bit easier to find. It literally talks straight back to ServiceMate. It's a two-way communication, so it's as live as you can do. And then on top of that, I use Starling Bank, which I know a lot of banks talk to Xero, but Starling does now. So again, everything literally just talks to each other. All I've got to do is go into Xero and tick a few boxes to reconcile as and when. The email inbox is where all the email communications land within the job, which makes life and following the history of jobs so much easier. So for when you're doing it, track my arrival. If you want to be really cool, really flash like Uber, when your engineer clicks travel to job on the phone system, it will send a link to the client to say that you're on your way with an estimated time of arrival. Sorry, it doesn't say estimated time of arrival. It says they are about 11 minutes from arrival. But what they can also do is if they click the link, it comes up with a map with a little picture of an engineering type looking person in a van driving down the road, so they can follow you to the job. Some people don't like it. A lot of customers didn't even know that if they click the link that would happen, but it's certainly something that as time moves on, people are going to want as much information as possible. So that's great. The customer feedback is pretty naff, really. It just literally lands on your dashboard, isn't it? Not really any good. Obviously, you want your feedback to be going back down online somewhere. So using Trust a Trader, Check a Trade, all of them sort of things, expert trades and stuff. What else do you need to know in here? So branded SMS, so all your texts that go out, that is on one of the higher packages that I haven't currently got because I don't need it, but it's certainly a good feature. It links to Sage. I think it's QuickBooks as well. Another good thing is it all links to MailChimp, so every time I add a customer, their email is going into my MailChimp list automatically. So if I want to do some marketing via MailChimp, that makes life very simple. What else do you need to know? Knowledge base. This is fairly new. I haven't really utilized it yet, but what you can do is if I click up, where is it? Here, and go, where's knowledge base? I can't find it now. There you go, knowledge articles. So in here, you can create a library of information. So like I say, I've just been testing it. I haven't really done anything, but if I go in here, I can create, let's go add new knowledge. So I can do a new knowledge video or a new knowledge article. If I create an article, so say I can do a how to change a TRV, whatever tags, you can create these so they're easily searched. How to drain down, whatever, you can, you just type. Anyone on the system, so any of the engineers would literally be able to find that video. So if they're on a job and they don't know how to do something, they could do a video and add it to the knowledge base, or they could search the knowledge base to find the answer to them. So over time, like I say, I've only just been testing the feature. Over time, you could build up a real comprehensive library of fault finding videos, articles on safeties, and so much stuff, and it's all built in at a few clicks of a button. It's going to make life so easy as and when you need to do that. If there's anyone that's got any other questions, please just fire them over. I've probably bored you all to death now, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview on the core reasons as to why for me, this software, there's a few little faults with it. There's a few things that I wish it would do, but they're a huge outfit, national, worldwide company. They're spending a lot of money on development and updates and things like that. So I've got full faith that this is going to prove to be one of the market leaders as it continues to grow. That's it. That's unless anyone's got any more specific questions on it. The tracking here, so the reports just gives you very basic information. I prefer to go into my Xero account and dive into all the figures and things, but you can pay. This is an extra that you have to pay for, but you can go to this, which is a business insights, and this gives you a real comprehensive breakdown on everything. I don't know if I've renewed. No, I won't bother going into that. Because I weren't really using it, because I do a lot of my managing, my reporting on things, I do it manually just on a whiteboard, just so, because I like to be able to see it regularly. But it gives you like quote ratios and so many different things. Yeah, so that's basically ServiceMate. If you're interested, just go over to their website. I believe I still, as a I'm a partner for them, as in I can offer support to you guys if you need it. Which means I can give you a 21-day trial or a 14-day trial. I can't remember which one it is. So if you're interested, just send me a message and I'll send you over the special link to get the login details. And then if you've got any issues, I can get into the system with you and work out exactly what's going on. That's it. I'm going to head back to the rest of my day. Have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.